Hello, I'm Gabriel. I'm a contributor with the Google Summer of Code program, and the project that I'm working on is Pandemonium. So, what is Pandemonium? It's a shiny application for cluster analysis between high-dimensional linked spaces, bringing multiple tools that exist within R into one user interface. To explore what these linked high-dimensional spaces look like, we're using an example with a bike sharing dataset in which we're trying to predict the number of users on a given day based on some information about that day. So a neural network was fitted to this data with six input variables and one hidden activation layer with eight activations. What this looks like within the app is that we load the activations into our clustering space and we load the inputs into our linked space, and we're able to look at a tour of both of those spaces side by side to get an understanding of what they look like. Here, because the clustering space is the activation space, each color represents a cluster within that space, and we're able to see where what region of our input space is related in that cluster. We're also able to look at a dimension reduction view of our clustering space and be able to see maybe that some groups look separate within a dimension reduction view, and we're able to make a selection of that group, as well as see how that selection maps across into a tour view as well. Here, a user might see that this group here looks very separate within the dimension reduction view, and they can see that it relates very closely to a particular group within our input space. The selections here are able to go between all views at once, and so a selection made in any of these spaces can be seen in every view. To produce these visuals, the first thing that we do within our Shiny server is we define a reactive variable, and we set that up holding a data frame with all of the data we need for the three plots. And we pass this reactive variable to Crosstalk to create a shared data object. And so that holds all of the data as well as any selection that we make on the data. And in order to be able to make those selections, we use Plotly and Detour, which use HTML widgets to create their outputs. And those outputs are able to make that selection and pass it to Crosstalk as they're Crosstalk compatible. We've chosen to do it this way because Crosstalk allows for very easy linking between different HTML widgets. It's able to maintain our reactive chain, so any changes we make to our data can be passed through the Crosstalk object and is able to update our outputs with the new data being shown. And even with different variables in every single one of our plots, we're still able to have that very easy linking between them. Where can you find Pandemonium? There's a current version available on GitHub, and that's not the version that was shown just before, but an updated version with new features was hoping to be released in September to GitHub as well as to CRAN.